Hola, Friendshare people, making a quick video just because it's fast and I'm typing everything out. Dropped a few videos and a few links to some specifics in the Discord channel, but I'm going to try to be applying all that information to the project in question. So hopefully this sums it all up. So the goal for next Saturday is to install as many of these tongue and groove end matched boards onto the ceiling as we possibly can. There will be 106 boards available. Of those, 91 will be up here and 15 will be in the garage. There will also be several pieces of trim available if we feel so greedy as to get to installing trim around any of the windows or the relevant doors. But that is certainly a bonus, not the main objective. So in order to install these boards, what we will need is a way to cut them down. So luckily we have this saw still that Ryan has generously given a long-term loan to us for. This will help us do angle matching on any of the relevant areas. As you, well, can't really see in the video very well, but this is a giant angled section of the ceiling, if for those who don't remember, that we'll have to do angle cuts on in order to get these boards to line up properly. Additionally, we'll need, and we can maybe still use this saw for this purpose, but we'll need to be able to cut down upwards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's call it 10 to 15 boards. We'll need to cut down the ends, not these ends, but rather these ends, in order for them to match up at the apex and at the base. So again, perhaps we can use this saw for that purpose, but for the entire length of these 10-foot boards, it may not be practical. If someone does have a more convenient instrument for doing those cuts, that'd be great. Half of those would be done at the beginning to get the first layer started, and then the other half, of course, at the end to match up at the top of the ceiling there. That's one thing that we will need to have coordinated. Maybe we get it ahead of time, maybe we do it day of. And then the second thing is all the rest of the boards. How do we get them up there? So I think the best system, since we don't have a raised platform, it's going to be very difficult to get one up here, will be a system of ladders. So we have one ladder right here, which can reach all the way to the ceiling quite easily. A second ladder, I think, will be a bare minimum in order to have enough support in order to support the boards properly. So 2 ladders, 2 individuals, preferably with 2 nail guns. We can obviously do it with one. It'll just be a lot of handing back and forth. But that way we'd be able to get this set up in a fairly smooth fashion. These doors right here are going to be moved down to the garage. That'll be the very, very first thing we do. I should have started chronologically, but let's get these out of here. They need a lot of work anyways, so they shouldn't be up here. And they'll give us more room. These boards will not be stacked out like this. They'll be tucked away off to the side of the room, the far side, so that we can pull them as we need them. If and or when we finish this first half of the room, we can slide the boards over to this half to start on these sections. So the pattern for the boards is going to be this wall is about 22 feet long. Each of these boards is about 10 feet long. For the very end most portions of it, we don't have to, but we could trim off the edge, whatever is facing up against the wall, to try to make it relatively flush. And then stack board, and then at the very end we'll have a roughly 2-foot section, which will cut the board down to size, and then the remaining section, in this case roughly an 8-foot section, will be used to start the next row. And that way the edges will be offset well enough and consistently and hopefully pleasantly enough, and we don't have to worry too much about measuring things out. So then you look, it's bolt, 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 start over at the other end, bolt, 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 so on and so forth. We could even do a zigzag with that approach if that's easier, but we can wait until day of to reach alignment on that. So I think that's everything. If we have extra personnel, if whatever system we come up with, handing off boards, making cut adjustments and nailing them on, and we still have additional personnel, there'll be work to do on the remaining trim in the garage to apply a coat of polyurethane on the remaining bits, which won't be ready unfortunately until Sunday or Monday of next week, so after the French air. But again, that is also cherry on top. So whatever people we can get to support the primary objective of installing all the tongue groove, that will be the first course. One last call out, lighting, it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock up here today, and it might be kind of hard to see through video the quality of lighting that we have here, but this is probably what we should expect to have next weekend. It is not the most natural light in the world. There is no central lighting, for those who remember. We do have a handheld spot light that we can use to shine on specific areas of work if we need it. If we're fine with the natural light, awesome. Then this outlet right in front of me here it's a little hard to see in this video, but it's a little wonky. It's obviously still plenty functional, but it's just a little, I kind of got screwed up when I was installing it. So if we can avoid using it, that probably would be for the best. If we have to use it, we can just be careful. So that's a very lengthy and wordy rundown. Items of need, and I'm going to drop these in chat. At least one more full, let's call it a 10-foot ladder. At least 2 nail guns, either 16 gauge or 18 gauge could work. If anybody has any recommendations when it comes to this type of work, if they think either one is better than the other, I will gladly defer to your recommendations. The internet was fairly open-ended about it. Nails, if nails need to be acquired, actually, just let me know ahead of time. I'll be happy to pick up as many as we might need. And then a mallet. We do not have any soft rubber mallets. It will be beneficial for tapping in the tongue and groove. And then entirely optional is a better saw for cutting the entire length of the board, which we would set up outside and coordinate that way. PPE will be provided. We got plenty of safety glasses, plenty of dust masks, plenty of gloves. So if any of those are needed, or if you want those, we have them. If you need additional stuff, feel free to bring it yourself or let me know, and I'll be happy to provide. I think that answers everything. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Please just let me know, and we'll address it over the next week here. So yeah, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, happy to see you guys next Saturday. Gonna be a hoot.